Hello, my name is Pastor Steve Edmiston. I'm the pastor here at St. Paul Lutheran Church near Genera, and we are continuing to celebrate our season of Easter, a season that lasts a week of weeks. And it's time for us to spend some time with the children as we celebrate this season of Easter. This week, we're going to talk about Jesus calling us. I say that a lot when in church, and when I say it, I don't mean that like Jesus picks up the phone to call us. A calling from Jesus means that Jesus is inviting all of us, each of us, even you, to join him in caring for our neighbors and the people around us, just like we are as we're staying at home. So that's kind of what Jesus does when he calls us. I want to talk a little bit today about what Jesus calls us, all right? How it is that Jesus is calling us. And I want to use a story from Dr. Seuss, from one of my favorite Dr. Seuss books, The Sneetches and Other Stories. So this is one of those other stories that we find in the book. And the story is Too Many Daves. Did I ever tell you that Mrs. McCabe had 23 sons and she named them all Dave? Well, she did, and that wasn't a smart thing to do. You see, when she wants one and calls out, "Yoo-hoo, come into the house, Dave," she doesn't get one. All 23 Daves of hers come on the run. This makes things quite difficult at the McCabe's, as you can imagine, with so many Daves. And often she wishes that when they were born, she had named one of them Bodkin Van Horn, and one of them Hoosfoos, and one of them Snim, and one of them Hotshot, and one Sonny Jim, and one of them Shadrach, and one of them Blinky, and one of them Snuffy, and one of them Stinky, and one of them Putt-Putt, another one Moonface, another one Marvin O'Gravel Balloon Face, and one of them Ziggy, and one Soggy Muff, one Buffalo Bill, and one Biffalo Buff, and one of them Sneepy, and one Weepy Weed, and one Paris Garters, and one Harris Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Carmichael Zutt, and one of them Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Zanzibar Buck Buck McFate. But she didn't do it, and now it's too late. You see, when Jesus calls us, he doesn't just say, "Hey, Dave," and think we're all going to come running. He doesn't think that all of us are named Owen or Cohen or Megan or Madeline. Jesus doesn't call out and just say, "Hey, you." One of the promises we have in the Bible is that Jesus knows us and knows our name. In Isaiah, it says, "I have called you by name. You are mine." So Jesus isn't going to make up a name for you like, "Hey, Biffalo Buff." Jesus is going to call you by your name and invite you to walk with him and help him care for neighbors. And neighbors might be your sisters and brothers. It might be the people who live next to you. It may be people that you will eventually see again at the grocery store or at the park. But we are, all of us, called by Jesus. We are, each of us, called by name so that we can go out and help the world around us. So if your name is Dave, Jesus will call you by that. But if your name isn't Dave, Jesus still calls you. Jesus still loves you. Jesus still wants to work with you and me and all of us. And that's something that we can celebrate. Let's have a quick word of prayer. Dear Jesus, we thank you for knowing our names, for not just calling us all Dave. Help us as we go out to help you care for the world around us. Be with us as we are at home. Be with us as we can go farther. But be with us, for we love you. And we thank you for today, Lord. Amen. I'll see you another time.